Before starting any home, you should ask yourself a simple question. Is the house that I'm going to be building something I want to live in? Something that I'm going to be comfortable in? Is my house going to be an energy efficient house? With an OG&E Positive Energy home, the answer is yes. You're assured that your house is going to be an energy efficient house that costs you less every month to operate, and it's a healthier house for you and your family. A positive energy home is built to tougher standards than a code house. It's a much more comfortable home. OG&E's Positive Energy home takes into consideration all of the different components that relate to energy efficiency. We require the construction to be much tighter. A typical house has a lot of draft in it, and what an OG&E Positive Energy house does is it cuts that draft down that's in a typical house by at least 50%. With OG&E's Positive Energy home, it's not just the insulation that you use, but it's the installation of that insulation. But what we've found is most new houses, the insulation is not being installed properly. Most of us will choose to do it with fiberglass or cellulose, which are absolutely great ways to insulate a house. We actually have home energy raters that are licensed to go out and inspect your house during those critical times during construction to make sure that it's done properly. With an OG&E Positive Energy home, the framers are required to do a lot of additional blocking. Whenever we have hot walls or knee walls, elevation changes, all those are backed and sealed for air. In the attic of a positive energy home, again, what we're trying to do is to keep the attic air from coming inside the house. In addition to that, if you have something that's stored up in your attic, it's a lot more comfortable up there. With an OG&E Positive Energy home, it's real important that we seal a house up properly. We make sure that the bottom plate and the top plate, as well as anytime we have 2 or more boards put together, are sealed for airflow, because we don't want the air from outside the house coming inside the house. A lot of times we drill holes intending to put stuff in those areas and we don't do it. It's very important that we make sure all of those penetrations are sealed. With an OG&E Positive Energy home, our windows are required to be high performance windows, and they have a 50% more insulating value than a typical window. When you look out the window, it looks just like any other window. But what it's doing is it's stopping the heat from coming in your house, which will then make the room much more comfortable. With an OG&E Positive Energy home, we require the heating and cooling equipment to be more energy efficient than a standard house. With our houses, we require no more than 5% duct leakage, where a standard house has typically 28 to 32% duct leakage. So the air that's being delivered from the system is actually being delivered inside your house instead of being lost to your attic. With OG&E Positive Energy home, there's actually 4 different types of systems that you can use for heating and cooling. The first one would be an air source heat pump. This is a total electric heat pump. It's a very, very energy efficient way to heat and cool your house. The second type system would be a dual fuel heat pump, which works the same way. Again, high efficiency air conditioner with a high efficiency heat pump, but it allows for supplemental heat to be gas. The third part would be a conventional system, again, high performance air conditioning with a 90% AFUE furnace, which is a 90% efficiency furnace. The fourth type would be a geothermal system, which a geothermal system's like the Rolls-Royce of the systems. It's the most energy efficient system that you can buy. If you were relating it to filling your car up with gas, for every gallon I put in it, I'd get 4 to 5 gallons worth out of it. What that means to you as a consumer is that your bills will be cheaper in the summer months as well as the winter months. At the very end, we do what's called a blower door test and a duct blaster test. And we make sure in these tests that the house is going to perform to the standards that we said it would. So we make sure that their infiltration is 50% less than a typical house. We make sure that the duct leakage is at 5% instead of 28 to 32% on an average house. We produce the reports off of it to show you as a builder and as a home consumer how your house will rate versus other standard houses. We can make the house very, very comfortable and much more affordable as long as we live in the house. A lot of times people ask us, why should we do this? And the real reason is you only get one chance to do it right. With an OG&E Positive Energy home, we're with you all the way along the way. We're with you at the very beginning to make sure that your heating and air equipment is sized properly, to make sure that it is sealed properly when it's being installed. We're there to make sure that it's insulated properly. We're also there at the very end to do a report card on your house. We test your house to make sure the performance that it's going to have is what we promised. And one of the nicest things about my job is everything that I do helps the consumer. Everything that I do helps to make sure that their house that they're going to be living in is a comfortable house with reasonable bills. How nice is that?